Yeah. What's going on, man? It's your boy Hype Fan Eagle representing the Philadelphia Eagles by way of New Jersey. You already know, man. Shout out to my first time viewers. Shout out to my last time viewers. Shout out to the people that's viewing this video, whether religiously or in passing. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel at Hype Fan Eagle 1. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel at Hype Fan Eagle 1. Hit that notification bell so you will be notified when we go on live, man. Shout out to my boy. I got my boy in the building, man. Hype fan Jers in the
Yeah,
motherfucking
I already know.
building. Pew, 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 pew. You already know, man.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
said, man. Subscribe to the YouTube right here, man. Hype fan Eagle 1. You already know, man. Listen, man, we gonna give, you know what I mean? Listen, we got a lot to discuss, you know what I mean, throughout the whole weeks, man. You know what I mean? This is the off season right now, but as of recent, we just got knocked off by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So right now we're going to give a season recap before we get into anything else, man. Just a brief season recap. Shout out to everybody that's viewing this video on Twitter or on YouTube, wherever you viewing this video at, especially if you're playing a replay. Shout out to y'all, man. Please make sure y'all hit that notification bell so you will be notified. All right, man. I'm gonna start off with the season recap. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it brief. You're gonna keep it brief, and then we're gonna get into the jumbo. We're gonna get into the jumbo, the goods and everything like that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
We started off strong, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna say particularly strong. You know, our first game was the New England Patriots. As you can see, we didn't really play that game fluent because their defense was getting at us for real. So we saw the beginning of the end during that game because we saw the flaws. We saw everything that we saw all season during the first game of the season, pretty much. So with that being said, we didn't look good offensively throughout the whole season. I mean, a lot of people compare us or try to compare us to the 2022 season. I want to tell people that every season is different because not only that every season is different, but you do have new players on the team. You have new staff every season. You know, every season you bring in rookies, every season you bring in undrafted players, every season you bring in free agent players. So every season is different. You cannot compare last season to this season. Yeah, you can say that I want to get back to how we were last season, but you cannot compare because it's a totally different team, and everybody knows that. I
Yeah.
knew that coming in. You knew that coming in, especially when we gave our record predictions. We was like, yo, either we gonna go 14-3 or 12-5. Like we was just saying it because we wasn't sure for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with the team just blowing up and we had to bring, all of these free agents in. So a season recap real quick. It was a lot of hiccups. There was a lot of up and downs during the season. We didn't really run the ball particularly well like how we wanted to. The defense was up and down. You know what I mean? We really didn't have identity as far as a defense. We lost to a couple of teams that I felt like we should have beat. I feel like we should have beat the Jets. We was uncertain in that game. You know what I mean? I feel like we should have beat the Seattle Seahawks. Somehow, some way, we ended up losing that game. You know what I mean? I feel like we should have beat the Giants at the last game. Somehow, some way, we end up losing the last game. So, overall, for me, this season was I want to say it was a lot of excuse making. It was a lot of excuse making this season. I want to say that, it was a lot of false hope given. It was a lot of excuse making. It was a lot of I don't want to call this overachieving. It was a lot of not knowing what to do, not knowing who we are as a team this season. I want to say that as I wrap it up. Go ahead and give me your season recap real quick and what's your thoughts.
Sure. I basically I don't want to repeat because what you say was self-explanatory, and I want to repeat everything. I just say that I agree with what you said, and then I will also say it. I put on is I expect that we was gonna lose and we wasn't gonna go undefeated in the regular season. I expect that because of basically because of that defense. Like I keep telling people, if they watch our off season videos before the season started, you'll know that that was the main focus that I was speaking on is the defense.
Correct.
And
Correct.
and so I knew it was gonna be some losses in it, and I knew. But what surprised me is one, the way we lost, and two, the way we look on the offensive side.
Correct.
And that kind of surprised me because the reason why it surprised me is because they kept talking about, oh, trying to find his identity and trying to find
Mhm.
who they are. And
Oh,
I
wait,
could
wait, wait,
get
wait,
that.
wait, 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 wait. Before you dive in, just give
Yeah,
a season recap because I definitely want you to hit that point. You know, as
yeah,
you
yeah.
act,
Nah,
as you
that it was
get
gonna
into
come.
get
It
into
was.
your gear.
I said that to them, but it was gonna come into
Okay,
without the recap all what I was trying to say.
okay,
But
okay.
basically, to try to sum it up, I'm just saying is that they, I didn't expect them to lose who they truly was.
Yeah.
And that's how they showed through the whole season. And I
Okay.
think it was mainly because of they played like they was trying to prove something when they should have played like we already done proved it. Like
Okay.
meaning on the last season. Like and
God
they
damn.
allow people to make them feel like they still had something to prove
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
to
God
just play the
damn.
game.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Just
yeah.
play the game, and that goes into the play call and all that. But we speak on to more than that. But that just feel
Yeah.
like I just felt like they didn't play on. They went away from who they truly was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. God damn. Okay, so listen, before we get into the juicy stuff, man, I just gotta ask these questions before we get into the meat and potatoes of everything. You know what I mean? Before we get into anything, shout out to all my Philadelphia Eagles content creators. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who's been holding it down for the longest throughout this whole season, man. I want to give my big ups to Lord Bronson, who I looked up to as far as the Eagles content creators. I also want to give my shout out to Philly Mike, Philly 500. You know, a bunch of y'all that I really can't, think of the name right now. I'm just only those names, but all y'all content creators out there, man. All y'all Philly content creators out there, man. I want to give a shout out to y'all, man, because y'all been holding it down. Y'all been doing the thing. I mean, y'all thing, and y'all been keeping us afloat as far as content creators. So shout out to y'all. What's your biggest takeaways? And what I mean by takeaways is tell me some of the things that you actually took away from our organization in a good light, like something that you can look forward to pretty much.
In the organization,
Yeah, yeah. In the
um,
organization, or if you want to go with the team or the organization, give me some of your takeaways of just in general of the Philadelphia Eagles in general. You know what I mean? And just all like what you think
the
what you think you can
only
look forward to,
only
or the positive shit.
only thing I can say. I'm gonna speak on two notes. Only
Okay.
thing I could say, the first that's gonna be positive for the organization that I would say that I could say is that some people might not agree, but this is how I feel. I
Hmm.
still trust Howie Roseman. And
A lot
reason
of
why I
people
say
ain't gonna agree with you, but I agree with I
yeah,
agree with you.
that's why I say I don't allow people like, and the reason why I say that he he had that potential to find what we need for a team.
Hmm.
Now we got the plays on the offense. It just was a little hiccup on the defensive side.
Major
And
hiccup, not even a little.
yeah, major
Yeah,
hiccup
yeah.
on the defense side. And
Hmm.
I get it that that's how it looks now,
Okay.
but you can't blame what he had done on our offseason because he went and got the right players. It's just the right players he got needed leadership. And not only need leadership, they need experience. Like we got Jalen Carter, who's he was good, but he still need more time. But Jalen
Hmm.
Carter was good this season. He wasn't bad at all. No, no, Nicole, not Kobe. Nolan Smith. He
Yeah,
didn't have that much uh play time, and he didn't so much do as much what people expecting him to do
yeah,
this season. But he had some key plays, nodded, and he had some good key plays that helped us on drives and everything. So he still have a good potential, but he still need time. This is players that need time that who knows what they will do next season.
yeah.
And Sidney Brown, okay, he had some games that you like, oh come on, Sidney. But he had some games that he was pretty good in, and then he was straight in, but just needed that. I feel like he needs that time. But just saying that I feel like he went out and got the plays. Now I would say the Kevin Byron and the other guy I forgot from the team that we got him from. I think he was from the Colts or something. We picked him up. I can understand that was a desperate move, trying to find somebody. So I understand it, but it was more of a desperate move. Now, some of what I'm trying to say is that I don't blame him so much as much on the defensive side or who he got. It's because he had to get something because of who we lost. Only thing
Yeah.
I would say I did not like, and I believe it at this, I would say I did, like I always talked about. I did not like that decision of letting go CJ Gardner Johnson and keeping Bradbury.
Bradbury.
I
Yo,
already
you've been saying that. You've been saying that for the longest. I think you've been saying that since the offseason. I'm not gonna hold you.
since the move was made, I said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not nothing I'm saying because of what Bradbury is doing now. Because a lot of people talking about, oh, what he did last season and what he was. I saw this. I saw this last season. I saw
Mm-hmm.
that he only was good because he had help on the top. I saw all that. Like
Mm-hmm.
people saying this something new. He was only a person that made plays because of help.
Okay. Wait.
That's
Before you get in that bag, talk about
yeah.
like give me your takeaways. Like talk about the positive that you can, you know what I mean? Type shit.
No,
So
no,
what's
no.
your
I get nah,
yeah.
the positive I was saying about I was talking more about on Javi Rose. I said I had 2 points, and I was talking more on Javi Roseman on that aspect of I trust him and I feel like he'll get it right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I can say on the organization, the positive. Because the coaching, something need to be changed on that. But the positivity of the team itself, I would say that we still have the players. And these
Yeah.
players, especially on the offensive side, are still good players. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so I could take the positive of going to next season that we like if it shouldn't we should be good. Now, if they let go some players on the offensive side, then I don't understand. But if
Yeah.
we're able to continue to keep, I know Jason Kelsey is not going to be there for the center, but I feel like
You
well
never
the
know.
fact
His future's up in the air. That's what he said. I mean, they announced his retirement, but he's
well
still
it's
unsure.
it's I get that, but it's a
Yeah.
percentage that he might end up go with his time and we might not have him. Go to, that's the only thing that if we don't have him, I feel like okay, we got to get a good center that will block and be on point like he
Mm-hmm.
was.
So you
And
don't like Cam Jurgens?
um that's why I say the key word like he was. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he might be, who knows? He might be better. But
Mm-hmm.
it lingers, he might be worse too. So that will be the question that will like, okay, that'll probably be a one little hiccup that we probably want on the offensive side that we're gonna have to face for next season. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, if we able to keep the receivers and keep the running backs that we got, and I still believe in Hurst. I know that he's taking a lot of heat,
Of
but I
course.
still believe in him.
Of course. I believe in Hurts all day.
Yeah, yeah. So it just if we get the right leadership and control of this offense, that the positivity we still have plays on that side.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
the defense side, it could get better. It's just
My
a lot of
my
moves
my
gotta make.
takeaways is the fact that you know, I believe in this organization. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that we will go to the Super Bowl next season, but I will say that I do believe in this organization. A lot of the pieces that we do have is in place, and a lot of the pieces that we do have is
Yeah,
out of place. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
This is a rebuild type of team right now, especially on the defensive side. There's nothing much you could do to the offense right now, but just replace a couple of pieces. You know what I mean? As far as like, okay, cool. If you're not cool with Cam Jurgens, you can go out and get a center. You go out and get a couple of offensive linemen. Hopefully, we keep DeAndre Swift. I don't know the case may be, but for the most part, our offense is intact. It's just the offensive coordinator that we need to work with for real. We need to
yeah,
figure out
yeah.
who is going to be there, or if we do keep Brian Johnson, we need to let him like he need to know that the offense that you ran in 2023, it can't be the same offense. You
Yeah.
got to be more creative type shit. He
He
need to
needs leadership.
type shit. Yes, he do not have that. It's mainly the defensive side of the ball, but the takeaway is the fact that I feel like we do have a good future. You know what I mean? We have a franchise quarterback. You know what I mean? We have a top five wide receiver in AJ Brown, who is, iffy at times as far as his leadership and his attitude, but you cannot deny his play on the field. I do feel like we got a very good 1B wide receiver in Smitty, you know what I mean, who is more level headed than AJ Brown, but nonetheless, he could get the job done. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I can depend on that. You know what I mean? That's my takeaways is the fact that we are an established team that a lot of teams will hunt. Listen, if a team is not hunting for you for real, if a team is not keeping their name in their mouth, then you
Yeah,
are a nobody team. And that
yeah,
team this
yeah,
year was the Philadelphia Eagles. The fact that everybody had something to say about us, even the fact that there were more analysts talking about us this year than ever and than I can imagine. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
everybody was talking about us. When you go on to speak, the speak conversations was Dak Prescott or the Philadelphia Eagles. When you go on ESPN, it was more so what the Philadelphia Eagles was doing wrong and shit like that, or Dak Prescott. So we are in the media more than ever, and that's my takeaways is the fact that they do see us as that type of team. Is the fact that we went wrong somewhere this season.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I do want to give another season recap real quick. We ended up 10-1 for the first or the second half of the season. The third and fourth half, we end up losing 5 out of 6 games. That is terrible. Once a promising team has failed to disaster at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? Which ended us in a wild card spot versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they blew the doors off of us as if we never had doors to begin with. They blew the doors off of us, man,
yeah,
as if we never had doors to begin with, man, as if we never had no windows or anything. They just pretty much got in the whip and just drove off with that thing. And that's a sad sight. Okay, so let's get into the juiciness real quick. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who viewing this. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel at Hype Fan Eagle 1. If you on Twitter, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel at Hype Fan Eagle 1 so you will be notified when we go on live. Listen, a lot of times we might not be going on live on Twitter. You know what I mean? Pretty much we use Twitter as our advantage, but you know what I mean? Help us build our YouTube channel. You feel what I'm saying? Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Hype Fan Eagle 1. Hit that notification bell so you will be notified when we go on live. All right, here it is. There's a lot of things going on in this organization, and I might be long-winded. Cut me off if I'm going too long. Cut me off if you want to chime in. If you want to chime in, feel free.
no, you good, you
You
good.
feel me? There's a lot of things going on in this organization right now. Now, there's a couple of press conferences that I haven't listened to today that came out today. I saw a little bit of clips of Fletcher Cox talking about Nick Sirianni. Um, of course, I saw the Jalen Hurts press conference after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. I didn't see the Jalen Hurts press conference today that I will be watching today and that I will
Yeah,
be reporting on tomorrow. There's a Jason Kelsey press conference that came out today. Now, remember, he refused to talk to the media after the game. He refused to
yeah,
talk to the media, but he came out with a whole nother press conference today that I will watch, that I will report on tomorrow.
hmm,
So there's a couple of things that's going on, and the speculative thing that's going around right now, the rumor that's going around right now is Nick Sirianni is on a hot seat, right? Nick Sirianni is on a hot seat. My opinion on that, my opinion on that is you give the man another chance. I mean, for God's sake, he went to the Super Bowl. I mean, not the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. He been to the playoffs 3 times during his whole Eagles career. He been to
yeah,
the Super Bowl 1 time. Failed to actually win the Super Bowl, but this is a man who has, succeeded. I'm not going to say at a high level, but if you want to take it there, then you could take it there. This is the man that succeeded at a high level, taking a 9-8 team to the playoffs, taking a 14-3 team to the Super Bowl, and taking an 11-6 team to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
hmm,
At the end of the day, coaches coach and players play. So yeah, you can crucify him for whatever you want to crucify him for, but at the end of the day, he don't put shoulder pads on and he don't put helmet on. And at the end of the day, he damn sure don't tackle nobody. This
yeah,
is a team that don't tackle. Like we witnessed that. We witnessed a lot of people that ain't tackled. Zach
yeah.
Cunningham is trash. He should not be back. Wait, I'm about to get in my bag real quick. If you allow me to get in my bag, can I get in my bag real
Get
quick?
in your bag, my man. I ain't gonna hold you.
Zach Cunningham is trash. He cannot tackle. Bradbury is burnt toast. He can't cover anything. Anything. You know what I'm saying? He can't put, listen, man, he can't tuck nobody in bed. He can't put a blanket over a child right now. That's how much he can't cover anything. Bull
Nope.
metaphors, bars. You know what I'm saying? You got a Nicholas Mutt. Look at this. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. We traded TJ Edwards to Chicago for a guy named Nicholas Monroe. That don't make no sense, ladies and gentlemen. That don't make no sense. So you traded a guy that led the team in tackles last year for a guy that Chicago didn't even want, and you thought that you was going to get the same type of level of play. That don't make no sense. Help me out right now. You got a Darius Slay who was all about me, 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 me. I'm just talking about strictly the defense. You know what I'm saying? Just look at everything. I don't need, listen. I don't know if you're going to view this later, if you're going to view this now. Try to clip this up. Trey, you could do me a favor real quick. I don't know if
Yeah.
you got a pen. Let me write this down so I could actually put this as a short right now. Let me see. I'm going to go 20 minutes right now real quick. So I could put this as a short because I got to clip this up, right? I got to clip up into two pieces, right? So we're going to go 20 minutes. Let me clip this up real quick. We came in the season unsure of what we're going to do, especially defensively, right? Now, mind you, we came in the season trying to figure out who is going to be our safeties. We got rid of Marcus Epps and we got rid of CJ Gardner. So there are two safeties that need to replace that spot, which is what's my man name that can't really cover the pass like that? Reed Blankenship, who's getting cooked in the pass. You got Reed Blankenship, and then you got to cover the other side, which is Justin Evans. Way before we got Kevin Byard. Justin Evans have been on IR for a majority of his career, not only when he came to the Philadelphia Eagles, but he's been injured a lot. So we acquire a guy that has been injured a lot.
Yeah.
So that right there, the whole safety spot is a whole debacle. Listen, I don't mean to be long-winded, but I gotta break this down to the nail. Like I gotta break this down just to let people understand the debacle of a defense that we had.
Yeah.
Our linebackers, we let go of TJ Edwards and we let go of Kaiser White. Now, those two linebackers may not be the best linebackers in the league, but they fit our team, though. They fit what we had planned. They fit our game plan. We let go of them two to now try to insert Nakobe Dean, who always injured. You know what I mean? He came into the league with a speculation of him having an injury when we drafted him. That's why he fell to the third round, because nobody wanted to draft him because of his injury. Then we get him, and now he's been injured. You know what I mean? For majority of the season. You know what I mean? He wasn't good in covering the pass, as we saw.
Yeah.
Now we go get now we got a Nicholas Monroe who the Chicago Bears didn't want. You know what I'm saying? So now we're trying to get on top of that. We go get a Zach Cunningham. First of all, that is wrong and whole. And then we go get a Shaq Leonard. That's how you know the linebacker call wasn't really good, because we trying out all of these linebackers that don't work. Okay, cool. Avonte Maddox go down the second game of the season. Now we trying to figure out who could we put in that nickel corner slot. You know what I'm saying? We trying to figure out a Bradley Roby. We trying to figure out Eli Ricks. We trying to figure out a Josh Jobe. We trying to figure out Mario Goodrich. We trying to figure out a Khalid Ringo. We trying to figure out anything to fit in that nickel corner slot.
Yeah.
On top of that, James Bradbury is getting cooked. Right? Darius Slay is getting cooked. Not only that, the defensive front is not hitting home like how they used to. So now it's like you got all of these plug-in plays, and you got all of these trying to figure out what we're going to do and who we're going to put in place. We never found our identity as a defense. That's number one. That's the struggles right there. I'm sorry, Hype Fan Jers, for keeping it so long, but I gotta break it down and let the people know this is where we struggled at, is the fact that we didn't have an identity as a defense, because a lot of it was plug and play. A lot of it was us trying to figure out who belonged where. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We had a lot of free agents, we had a lot of offseason acquisitions, and on top of that, we had a lot of rookies too. And like you said, we didn't really have real leadership on the defensive side. Now, granted, you did have BG and you did have Fletcher Cox, but I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they're leaders, they're like Eagles 10-year leaders, but
Yeah.
did they really do they really follow them guys? I don't know. I don't know if they responded to them guys for let's keep it a bang. Okay, let's go to the offensive side, right? Offensive side, you got a whole new offensive coordinator named Brian Johnson that doesn't play, that doesn't give out plays or draw anything up to Jalen Hurts to his best of ability. You know what I'm saying? He don't
Mm-hmm.
work with Jalen Hurts. He figure out, okay, cool, I'm gonna make these plays. You gotta think about it. Every play this season was downfield and took too long to develop. He didn't play to Jalen Hurts' strength. You know what I'm saying? He didn't play to his strength. Everything was verse. Everything was it wasn't no creativity. So I want to say this just to keep it brief on the offensive side. We had no identity on the offensive side because we barely ran the ball. Like we are a physical run the ball type team. We barely
Yeah.
did that. We paid this man the $250 million. Okay, now we want to see you throw the ball like a $250 million quarterback. But that's not his MO. His MO is to actually be a dual threat quarterback.
That
They
quarterback.
didn't
Yeah.
do that. They didn't do that. So this whole season was a debacle from the rip. From the rip. And I just want to say that if you want to listen, if you want to chime in, if you want to stop me by any means, go ahead. Because I'm gonna
Nah,
keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna rip it up. So whenever you want to chime in,
listen,
go ahead and chime in.
I got nothing to talk. I got no way to talk because I'll be going in myself. So I'm
You feel
hey,
what I'm
do
saying?
you?
Um, um, then you got it like this, right? Y'all make a defensive coordinator change throughout mid-season, not even mid-season, towards I guess if you want to say towards the end of the season,
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah.
case may be. But that was the mixer right there. Because now you telling the guys like, yo, who could I who could I trust? Do I trust this defensive coordinator or do I trust this defensive coordinator?
Mm-hmm.
I have to unlearn everything that I learned at the beginning of the season from this defensive coordinator. Now to actually learn from this defensive coordinator, it don't make no sense. So we
Yeah,
were struggling from the rip. Not only that, we were trying to make Jalen Hurts do things when we know he was injured. We didn't run the ball. We tried to make this man scramble out the pocket when we know his knee was hurt. Yo, run the ball. If you know that this quarterback is injured, what you do? Okay, cool. I got my running backs. I got my running backs. Now, not only that, I'm gonna do hot routes so that way he don't have to stay in the pocket for a long time. What teams
mm-hmm.
started to do ever since that San Francisco game is started to blitz everybody. They started to
Yeah,
blitz everybody, knowing the fact that we got plays down the field that need to develop and we don't have time to develop them because we have yet to stop the blitz. We don't have
yeah.
nothing to stop the blitz. This whole season was a debacle. And put it like this, I'm gonna end it up because I definitely want my boy to go. And I'm sorry, audience, for talking too
Nah,
long.
you
I feel
good.
like I'm talking my shit, but y'all may feel like I'm talking too long. So I'm gonna just end it off right here, right? Um, um, Actually, I forgot how I wanted to end it off because I'm just so in tune
Yeah,
to how
man,
I
be
wanted to
like
go.
that.
But
I know exactly
okay,
what you
okay, I
said.
remember now. I got it back. I'm not surprised that we exited the playoffs the way we exited. I'm not surprised. I'm not even mad because I feel like we don't deserve to go any further than where we were at because we were the only team. We had the best record in the league at one point, and then we end up falling. That is a disgrace. That is a fall. That is a fall from the fucking Spartans, the Spartans Mountains or whatever you want to call it. That's a fall. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that. And listen, we got a lot to talk about. So I want my man's to get his point of view on whatever he want to say, you know what I mean, and let him go in. Go ahead. Listen, audience, I apologize for being long-winded, man. I want my boy to get his shit off. Go ahead.
You good? Nah, like everything you was talking about though, it was legit and it was 100. Like I can't disagree with none of the stuff that you spoke about because it's just facts. But yeah, like dealing with starting with the defense, and because that's what I've been very crucial on, and I've been worrying about since the off season and everything. And you made some key points that I see. especially on the defense from what Howie Roseman did. And I just felt like he did a good job on the draft, but he did not do all that well when it came to trading and it came to get picking these NFL players that's in the free agents and
Yeah,
from other teams. And that's why I said it was more of a desperate move.
a
And
lot of it was, yes.
it was more of a just trying to get him. Oh, he was pretty good. He did this. When overall they wasn't really known for enough, doing enough. That's the reason why they was in the spot they was in. Regardless if it was because of injuries or whatever, like he didn't do that well, and so that showed more onto the defense side because you seeing the confusion and the chemistry was not there, the experience was not there, the leadership was not there. Um, the defensive line is not the same as it was last year. Some of
Yes.
these guys is getting towards the. That's why you see some of them talking about retirement right now. I be Brandon Graham's and I think Fletcher Cox too was
Yeah, Brandon Graham said he wanted to do a farewell tour. So basically he's just alluding to coming back next year if the Eagles allow him to
yeah,
come
yeah,
back and he want
yeah,
to do a farewell tour. I don't know about Fletcher Cox. I don't know about I mean Jason Kelsey, they pretty much say he retired, but from the interview from
yeah,
the small clip I got today, he's
yeah,
saying like I don't want
yeah,
to talk about that now.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
50-50 type shit.
Yeah, I was made to talk about on the defensive line though, but
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I just feel like sometimes you have a season that because they still did good. Sometimes you're gonna have a season that you do outstanding, but your next season you do good, but you didn't do outstanding like you did before. It's
Yeah.
hard. We got last season was 70 some sacks.
70 something
It's
sacks.
hard
Yeah.
to beat that record. Sometimes it takes time to beat your record. Like no
Yeah.
matter you play a game or something and you make a high record, sometimes you gotta chase that record again, and it's not that easy. You
Yeah.
know,
It ain't. It ain't easy.
so I don't. The defensive line did good enough. They did good this year.
Yeah.
They had pressure. They was in it. It's just that they wasn't like last year that they was getting in there more quick and to enough we didn't have to worry about our secondaries and all that. But
Yeah.
this year, since they couldn't get there that quick and help out our secondaries, and it was finally the time for our secondary to do something. They couldn't do it.
Yeah.
They couldn't hold, they couldn't, and it was just because of the experience, the confusion, the leadership. And I think on the play calling side, because I said this, couldn't so much didn't couldn't blame the coaches. Like I never blamed so much this on Sean Desai. Didn't like that decision for many reasons. I don't think it was all the way his fault. And then
Hmm.
second, you are putting it even more. You're making it even more harder for switching out a defensive coordinator with another one going towards the end of the season, the regular season, and now the players have to learn a different type of uh play formation and all this when first they not that experienced to adjust and to pick up on a plays like that. Then
Hmm.
second, Matt Patricia is not that of a coach that know how to just adjust a defense, especially when they unexperienced that
Yeah.
quick on a regular season. So your better chance was to keep showing the side, which I understand you felt like it was you wanted to stuff wasn't all the way good on the defensive side, but who knows? Maybe him needing that much of a time going to the end of the regular season, he would have figured something out. He
Hmm.
had all
Hmm.
that time from the first game all the way to at least to the Seahawks game. He might be like, you know what? Okay, I see what's going on. He might would have made an adjustment, and from them playing with his formation and his schemes and what he was doing, they probably would have picked up on it very well and quick.
Put it like this.
We
Be, be,
already been
be,
knowing what he was going to do.
before I cut you off, we
Yeah,
lost to San Francisco, we lost to Dallas, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
they made a defensive coordinator change right after that Dallas game. We
yeah, yeah,
yo like ever since that the defense was like, what the fuck, all right, we ain't playing no more.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it could have got, it could have. Who knows? He could have figured something out. It could have got better. The defense chemistry would have picked on. They probably would have figured out what Sean Deshaun finally want them to do. Because in the beginning of the season, they were just confused. But he was what? Because a lot of plays I felt like Sean Deshaun threw out was the right type of defensive plays. It was just
Mhm.
lack of executions, a lot of
Type
confusion.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of confusion. Uh, 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 Safeties and corners is out of position. Defenders is picking up on players that they don't supposed to pick up on. Like it's just all that was going on. Like what? How can a coach? If I was the coach, I'm like, damn, they're gonna blame me for this. I guarantee you. Like, what can I do? Like
Type shit.
I've done. Is you we got sometimes we have to hold players accountable, and as much we a
Mhm.
whole coach. And it was more on the defensive side. It was more on the players just being inexperienced, being out of sync, and in no leadership. I do not, and I don't care how anybody say. I do not look at Slade, Darius Slade as a leader. I just don't. He is not a
Preach,
Malcolm
preach,
Jenkins. He
preach,
is
preach, preach.
not a Malcolm Jenkins.
Listen.
But
Just because you got 12 years in the league, that don't make you a captain, brother. Like I
yeah,
do not
yeah,
look at
yeah,
him like a lead. Yo, you hit it right. Yo,
yeah.
yes. Go
and,
ahead,
and,
preach,
and
brother.
and that
Preach.
was that we didn't have no leadership to put this defense in sync and put them in right. So like example, the middle field is open. It got so bad that the defensive coach, I know so much that they did not trust their players, because it got so bad that the the middle line, the middle field is always open. Why? It's because we are making these linebackers work on the outside to give help to the for the corners, because you don't trust your corners.
Not only the
Like
linebackers, we're making the defensive ends like Hassan Reddick or Josh Sweat cover the flats because our cornerbacks can't cover nothing.
exactly, and you wonder
So
why we ain't getting the pressure like we want.
exactly, and we're wondering why teams start running on us because we started making our defensive ends cover the flats instead of
Yeah,
rushing the
yeah.
fucking quarterback. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So it came. You after a while couldn't trust your defense or your secondary to do so. Now you're taking players off of other players and helping you. You're double teaming players, and you're making the safety. You're playing soft too much because you want this. You're not trusting the safeties to come down the put the pick up on the middle field, so the safeties just drop back a little bit too much because they've been re-breaking ship, getting burnt a lot. Nobody ain't recovering, so it's a lot of out of sync type plays on the defense, and that was the mess on the defense because of the
yeah,
experience. But cool, you have that. That's what you're at. Your defense is not where it's supposed to be.
yeah,
Now it's time for the offense to do it. You have the plays on the offensive side. You don't have the lack of players. You still have the same plays. You still got the a good receiver of AJ Brown. You still got a good receiver of Devontae Smith. You
mhm,
still got a good receiver of Dallas Goddard. You
mhm,
still DeAndre Swift. I don't know how many times through the whole regular season he had to prove himself. Yo, I need the ball. Like,
type shit.
you still didn't give it to him when he proven himself over and over that, yo, give me the ball, I'll make something happen.
Yeah,
You did not make adjustments for your O line going towards the middle to the end of the regular season to help them out because they're not looking the same. So you did not make no adjustments
yeah,
to that. Like,
yes,
what was you expecting that was going to happen if your defense don't need to be on the field, and
yeah,
your offense needs to take over? So if your offense needs to take over and your defense don't need to be on the field because they not what they are this year, then why not control the time of possession?
yeah.
Why not take your time on the offensive side? Why not do checkdowns and just convert first down and move down the field? Why
Cook,
is you
brother. Cook,
forcing
cook, cook.
why is you forcing explosive
Mhm,
plays that you've been talking about all season and you didn't want to let go?
cook. Cook,
You're making
cook,
explosive plays. Why make explosive plays when your defense is having a hard time? Why keep putting your defense out there?
cook.
You get explosive. You keep forcing explosive plays. Your defense
Mhm,
get out there. They just was already out there. Now they tired. Now they having a hard time. And next thing you know, they moving down the field and the offense is scored again. Now
mhm,
you giving the other team another chance of staying in the game. Like instead of
mhm.
you know what, our defense is not the same. They're not looking good. Let's take our time. Score. Let's give our defense time to rest to give them a chance
Let
to,
me
to, to
let me
understand
cut
things.
you off real quick.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
us as content creators and others like us, I feel like the team knew
yeah,
the same issues that we recognized, and
yeah,
they just kind of gave up on it. Like
yeah,
you can
yeah,
tell by the poor tackling, you can tell by the posture of the players that they was like,
yeah,
"Yo,
yeah.
let's get this shit over with, and let's fucking try to like do this shit all over again next year because everything is
Exactly,
fucked up."
exactly, exactly.
You can just see it. I mean, how the way Darius Slay was acting, how the way like I when listen, I don't want to say that, I'm like a person that like an expert at paying attention, but I can
Not
see
for you.
that
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts press conferences didn't look as inspiring as they did last year.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was getting tired of a lot of fucking shit. Like his question,
yeah,
like them as he walked out one interview, pretty much. Like
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
things just look uninspired. And I don't know if that's coming from actually, them tired of hearing the head coach,
yeah,
them
yeah,
knowing that the fact that things are messed up and they just not motivated, but it was a lot of internal issues that we all saw all season that
yeah,
and I'm gonna keep this brief and I'm gonna let you rock real quick. I got tired of hearing the press conferences of them saying that they're gonna fix something and they see something that they're gonna run the ball and they saying that we gonna get things corrected. And then they go out the next game and it's still the same shit. You know how many times I saw,
yeah,
oh, I'm frozen right now. Listen, pardon me if I'm frozen, but y'all can hear me. Y'all can
yeah,
definitely hear
yeah,
me. Um, you know how many times that I heard Nick Sirianni say we're going to run the ball when the reporters asked him, could y'all run the ball a little more? And he said, yeah, 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 we're going to get that fixed. And they never ran the ball more. I just got tired of hearing the same old thing from the press conference. Like I said,
yeah.
we are
You-
frozen now. I don't know what's going on.
yeah.
Pardon me if we are frozen right now. This is kind of
Nah, I mean,
crazy. You frozen?
I'm good.
You can see me? I'm moving?
No, you frozen.
I'm frozen. My boy is good. I'm frozen on my end. So hopefully this could get fixed. I don't know what's going on right now. But go ahead. Go ahead. You can
Yeah,
talk.
yeah. Nah, like just a little bit more that
I'm
I
gonna have
want
to
to say.
refresh. Let me refresh. I can't even do
But
that right now. Hold up. Let me see.
yeah, like he's having a little technical difficulties and everything. But yeah, I like for the viewers that's looking like I just feel like for the reason the mistakes that it all went downhill, like I was talking about before, is when they lost their identity. And I already knew something was wrong when they first came out and said, "Oh, we're just trying to find our identity. We're trying to find who we are." And like I said before in my other videos, and like how I can understand on the defensive side, you trying to find an identity and you trying to find who you are. Why? Because you got new players, new defensive coordinators. You picking up a lot of rookies that's coming through the offseason draft. Um, things is not the same as the defense is not the same as what it was last year. So I can understand you feel like you're trying to find your identity or who we are on the defensive side. So I can understand that. But on the offensive side, there's no excuse. Like there's no excuse that we cannot score in the red zone and put up numbers. Why? It's because you have the players on the offensive side. You have a quarterback that have good potential. Now, I understand a lot of people they coming at Hurts because of he have a lot of stuff that he still need to mature on and he still to know to do. And I get it, but overall, he could get the job done if we do what we supposed to do. Overall, he's a good quarterback that could fit and get the job done if we do what we're supposed to do. And that's staying true to who we are, staying true to who they are. And that's just being a team that runs and open up.
All right,
Okay, now you're back. I was just keeping them occupied while you until you came back.
damn, I'm
Uh,
frozen
yeah,
again.
yeah, you still frozen, my man.
God
Like,
damn, yo,
they
yo,
just might have to
yo.
be your audio, as long as they can
All
hear
right,
you.
it's gonna have to be my audio.
Right, until it come back, because last time they was doing that and it came back. So,
Yeah,
but
I had to be my audio, man.
yeah, yeah. Nah, I was just talking in brief on saying that, like, we're on the defensive side. I can understand them talking about um finding their identity and who they truly is, and I can understand that because of the lack of players and what we had lacked on the defensive side and who we don't got. It's a totally basically besides the defensive line, the secondary is basically a whole new team on the defense, dealing with the defensive coordinator and everything. So I can understand that trying to find who they are and the identity on the defense, but there's no excuse on the offense. We have the players. We still have the players. We have a good a quarterback that could do the job if everything is set right.
Yeah,
And you're talking about we are trying to find our identity. We are trying to find who we are. Like, how? Like, you what was wrong with the identity what we had last year? Like, you had a problem with that identity? Like, you had a problem who you was with last year that got you into the Super Bowl? Yes, we lost, but we damn near should have won if it wasn't for two little mistakes. The fumble and Bradbury with that costly penalty that shouldn't even been done by, like, the penalty shouldn't even be called, but cool. They called it. Why? Because he gave them the reason to call it when he ain't had to. Juju was not gonna get that ball. Okay, he was scared that he was getting burnt because he always get burnt. That's why I always saw him do the last season getting burnt. He was scared that he couldn't hold him. So, oh man, then he's getting open. Let me hold him. Let me grab him a little bit. You have to do this, like, you you really that trash that you have to grab and you have to hold all the time. Like, I understand for a defender, sometimes you gotta hold, sometimes you gotta grab. You'd rather take a penalty than take a touchdown. That's understandable. That's logic. That's defense IQ right there. Take a penalty than a touchdown. That's understandable. When you find yourself always having to do that. And Slay, he sometimes he does it a lot, but Bradbury do it more. But I see that somewhat in Slay that he have to be too physical to be a good defender. He gotta touch too much. He gotta hold. He gotta grab too much. He gotta do that too much to be a good defender. Why you have to put hands on the receivers so much that I can understand inside when you're doing pressure. That's understandable. Put hands on them. When you pressing and you playing up close on a receiver, I can understand that. But when you know for being a veteran for so many years, when it go 5 yards, it's no hands, it's no touching. Like, when you know as a defender that when a player is downfield already, it's no hands, it's no touching, it's no physical. Like, you have to
well,
just play on the ball.
you can hear me. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, you good now.
All
You
right,
good.
y'all. Listen, sorry for that technical difficulty, man. I was having issues with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
internet, man. It kept freezing and everything. So once again, I apologize for that. But you can go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Like, when you know that as a defender, when the receiver's downfield, you have to play on the ball. You just got to defend and stay on your man. And if you struggles with that you cannot most of the time stay on your receivers, and you gotta always put hands and force these refs to call these penalties, then there's a problem. Like, all good, most of the good defenders that's gonna be hard to fame did not have to do that all the time. They did not have to uh uh make penalties and hold and do all this just to be aggressive, just to stay on a defender. And I feel like Slay and Bradbury and mostly Bradbury have to do that. There to me is not
Bradbury is the bottom of the bottom. Like
yeah,
Bradbury, bruh. Like, okay, I understand. Like, okay, we gave him kudos last season,
yeah,
but I don't like put it like this. This season tells me exactly who he is as a defender. I don't care who I don't you don't
yeah.
get cooked that many times, man. You may have a bad game or two, maybe 3 games, but I feel like he got cooked the
My
whole
man
season.
allowed a perfect 158 yards passing rating to the receivers.
Bruh.
I think it was that Buccaneer. I think yeah, I think it was that single game Buccaneer game, or was it all season? I don't know how they put it, but like,
He
yo,
was getting cooked. Cooked.
my man, like that's I understand that, but I'm gonna say this because I wanted to keep it brief. I was making a point of saying that when you have the receiver, you have the players on the offensive side. It should not be no excuse that you should not know how to call plays. But
Type
what
shit.
I wanted
Mhm.
to say is to end this, to keep it, because we have 50 minutes, but that's still good though. Is I feel like what Rick Rome, this not only the identity, them losing their identity and going away from it on the offensive side, when they should have stuck with it and just perfected it.
Yeah.
I feel like what also went wrong, and they what they did is that I felt like they tried to prove something on the offensive side
Yeah.
that they did not want to live under Shane Steichman's shadow.
Yeah.
Shane gave us an offense that worked.
Mhm.
He gave us an offense that was the off that offense that we had, the play calling we had was the right play calling. Why? Because of what we had. That we should have stuck with that and just perfected and did more with it. But the problem was, I feel this is what I feel like.
Yeah. No,
They
you're
did
right
not want to
about
live
that.
under his shadow. Oh, so let me try a new identity.
Mhm.
We don't want Shane. We got rid of him. He went to the Cardinals. We're not gonna want to use his same type of play. We're not gonna want to do what he did. Because
Mhm.
then what? He can always say that. Maybe because he might can say that. Oh, you still use it. I set this scene.
Mhm.
The scene for this team, the identity for this team, I'm the one that said it.
Mhm.
You know what? Now we can't have that right there. So what? Let's create a Brian Johnson offense.
Mhm.
Let's create a Nick Sirianni offense. Let's do something new. Let's force Jalen Hurts to pass. Let's make a pass offense and force him to pass uh uh 100 times a game. Like, and we're
Cooking.
gonna run the ball with Swift a little bit. Like, let's do that. Because you know what? This is our identity. We made this identity. No, like, no, if it works, why go away from it? Who cares if it was another coach that identity that he set for us? Who cares if it was Shane's identity he set?
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
worked. If you would have perfected it, then that would have been good for you.
Mhm.
But you wanna we trying to find an identity. What? Trying to find an identity? You had an identity.
You
Oh,
had
I get it.
identity.
I get it. It was Shane identity. You want your own identity. That was the problem. And for you trying to create a new identity and you trying to do something new that did not work, that was the problem. And
Mhm.
then when you try to, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try to get back on that identity and try to run the ball. You get scared when teams predicting it and start stopping it a little bit. You go back away from it. When we know, stick with the run. No matter if they stop it, you have to continue to stick with it because sooner or later it's going to open up. But oh
Mhm.
damn, they stopping it. Okay, let's go back to this identity that don't work. Like, they were so stubborn, they were so prideful, they did not want to make no changes and adjustments with the offense to go back to what they truly are, because they were stubborn and prideful and they wanted their own type of identity that they took them for. They, you can't even say it took them to no point because they did the same thing from the beginning until a one and done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you wasn't gonna change that. You just gonna continue to do what you wanted to do. Like, and I'm gonna say this not in it right now. I say this. I thought
Right.
they understood.
Get your shit
I
off.
thought, yeah, I thought that they understood that, because through the middle of the season, when we from playing the Dolphins and then playing the Bills. No, yeah, from playing the Dolphins then playing the Bills, they was very well of adjusting second half. So I'm like, okay, well, at least they know how to adjust. So they'll figure something out, because they'll be bad in the first half. Next thing you
Mm-hmm.
know, they go to the running game, and then next thing you know, everything changes and we win. I'm like, okay, at least they know how to adjust. I got some hope.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get to the 49ers game, and after that, we just forgot how to adjust. We forgot how to just go back to who we truly are.
Mm-hmm.
No adjustment at all. No, nothing. Just the
Cook,
same old,
cook,
same old.
cook,
What went
cook,
wrong? You forgot how to adjust. You forgot how to control a game.
cook,
That was the
cook.
problem. And I did not understand. Like, the coaches were so stubborn, they were so prideful, and they led this team to a one and done. That's how I did.
Cook, man. Listen, I'm having technical difficulties over here. We definitely gonna finish this tomorrow, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Tomorrow we're gonna talk about basically what do we do moving forward. Who should we keep? Who should we let go? And basically how should we rebuild this whole team, especially on the defensive side. So we're going to break more down of the individual players, who should we keep, who should we let go, and what should we do moving forward. Hopefully you up to the task, hype fan
yeah,
jurors. If you
yeah,
want to be on
yeah,
hype
yeah.
talk, we could do that. We could
Well,
knock that out.
I have to. What's today? Today's Wednesday or Tuesday?
Yeah,
I
today
mean,
Wednesday.
today Wednesday or Thursday.
Today
I
Wednesday.
forget what today. Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah. Wednesday.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm off. I don't know. Like, I did so much that I lost the track. Sometimes I have that.
Trust me,
Okay,
I've been
yeah, I'm
there.
off tomorrow. I'm
I've
off
been there.
tomorrow.
I've been
Okay,
there.
yeah,
All right, so we gonna try to cover this a little early. It might be a pre-recorded video, so that way we could just put it out for y'all. You know what I mean, a little later on, so
yeah,
that way everybody could tune in all at the same time to the pre-recorded video. But we definitely gonna get that cover. Like I said, I'm having technical difficulties, and while I'm having this, I'm gonna fix everything tonight. But until then, I am about to jump on the game, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely about to
oh
get
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
game.
yeah. I feel you on
Um,
that.
for
Word.
y'all who don't got Xbox, y'all can follow me at Raw Two Dog. That's capital R, lowercase AW, the number two, capital D, lowercase AW, capital G. Raw Two Dog. That is my Xbox user profile name. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all
Word.
want to, matter of fact, hold up. Let me do this real quick so that way they can catch it at the end. You know what I mean? Let me type this in. Just give me a second, y'all. If y'all got an Xbox, you know what I'm saying? Give me a second.
The Xbox, you can get me as capital TREL, capital G973.
You know what I mean? Hold up. Boom. Bam. Let me type this in. I gotta keep this in. You could type yours in whenever you want. But
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
this my Xbox handle, you know what I'm saying? If you actually want to play me in Madden or anything, let me know. We can get it in. You know what I mean? We will be back up here with a pre-recorded video on who we should let go, what we should do moving forward, and everything like that, man. It's your boy Hype Fan Eagle representing the Philadelphia Eagles by way of New Jersey. That's your boy Hype Fan Jersey, man. We will be back up here tomorrow. Gang, gang, gang. I'm sorry. I apologize for the technical difficulties. You getting on the game?
Yeah, you already know. I'm gonna eat some first though. Then I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
hop
for
on
sure,
right
for
here.
sure, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'll be on in the next like 25 minutes.
All
I'm
right,
gonna take
word,
I'm gonna
word,
take me a shower and shit.
word. I feel you.
All right, y'all. Be easy, y'all. Be easy.
Easy.